Welcome back to Tutorial Tidbits and welcome to my channel. I'm Elizabeth St. Hilaire, and this week I'm playing with a unique gel printing technique with over and under layers that you pull basically all at one time. It's a little tricky, but it results in some really beautiful indirect printing effects. So if you've got a sense of adventure and a few minutes, let's go check it out. Welcome to the studio. So today I am working on what I call an over-under print. It's a little bit messy, but it has great results, and I always enjoy sharing it with my students because it's one of those ones that typically gets an ooh-ah response. So I am using golden fluid acrylics, teal, iridescent bright gold fine, and Pyrolle red light, which is sort of an orangey red. So I am also using my Klimt spiral repeat mask design for joggles, 9x12, and my favorite pad of 9x12 sketch rice paper. So, and I'm using a 9x11 Dina Wakley gel plate. I like the 9x11 plate because it allows me to almost fill up the whole sheet with the 9x12 rice paper and the 9x11 mask. So the first thing I'm going to do is create myself 2 sheets of gold to work on. So just 2 solid sheets of gold. So I'm going to put a little bit of gold out onto the gel plate. I am going to brayer it out with my 6-inch speedball brayer, working in both directions to get a nice even layer that's thin. And I'm going to put my rice paper smooth side down into the paint. And that is the side that is up facing you in the pad. So the smooth side is going to go down into the paint. That is because the smooth side pulls off more paint than the rough side. So you want to be using the smooth side. So we're going to apply a little more pressure and pull. And pull that nice gold sheet. And I'm going to pull a second one. So I have somewhere to put my extra prints or my cleanup prints or my ghost prints. I probably won't have any of that, but I'm just going to make a second one just in case. So again, smooth side goes down because you can never really have enough paper. So some solid color base sheets. I start all my prints on solid color base sheets. So I like to make a lot of those so that I can work from them. So here's my second really nice gold base sheet. So we're done with the gold. So now we're going to do a ghost print or a first print with the teal. So we're going to put the teal out, and I'm just going to clean the brayer with the gold right onto the gold sheet. And then I'm going to roll out the teal in a nice even layer with my 6-inch brayer. And I like this mask because it has some nice spirals, some fun shapes, but it also has thin lines. It's laser cut with some nice thin lines, so it should give us a nice delicate pattern. So we're going to put that right into the teal paint. And the first thing we're going to do is print so that we can have a ghost print left behind. So this first print is not my intended print, but it is certainly going to be something I can work with for a future sheet of collage paper. So the idea is to get all the paint out of the negative spaces in this, and teal tends to want to grab onto the plate a little bit more than some other colors because of the white that's in it. So first of all, this is amazing and beautiful, right? Look at that gold with the teal. Fantastic. But secondly, I'm going to grab another sheet of rice paper and see if I can't get some more of that teal out between the pattern so we can get a nice clean ghost print. So that's going to be a little bit challenging because of the titanium white in the teal, but we're really going to apply a decent amount of pressure and try to pull that out. And I think we're pretty good there. I'm not seeing a lot of teal in the open spaces. If I do, before I pull the paper off, I'm just going to And that will be a cleanup sheet that I can add color to that for something else. And of course, I've got these two beautiful prints already, but those are not my intended prints. So let's set those aside. Now, before, I am not going to lift this mask off. It has got teal trapped underneath it, and it's going to stay wet with the Mylar on top of it. So now we're going to take the Pyrolle red light and we're going to put it on top of the stencil. I have not removed the stencil. I'm adding it over the top. I'm coming in with a second 6-inch brayer so that the teal that's in this one does not affect my red. So I'm going to roll this Pyrolle red right out on top of the stencil. I haven't removed the stencil. So are you writing down the steps to this technique? Because it is confusing even for me. Sometimes I pull the mask off too soon. Sometimes I don't take it off at all. And sometimes I mess up the color combinations. So it might be helpful for you to write a step-by-step noted list for when you go out to your studio to try this yourself. I'm rolling that color now into those negative spaces that we cleaned out with the other sheet of paper. I'm going to get that all rolled out. Now I'm going to lift this, remove the mask, and now I've got that teal and the red, and I'm going to print that onto the prepared gold sheet. So what you're going to get here is a nice soft line quality because it's the ghost print combined with the paint over the top. And it's just going to be an indirect printing method, which is going to be different than if we printed it straight forward from the mask. You're going to see that in a minute here. So now we're going to pull this up. Oh my gosh, this is just one of my favorite color combos. And you're going to see this beautiful teal and orangey red with a wee bit of the gold showing through and a nice soft edge to this print. Now, by comparison and contrast, look at how sharp and graphic this print is, and we love it for that. But then compare how soft this print is because of the indirect printing method used in this print. So now the very thin lines in some of the spirals are a little less crisp than some of the other shapes. You will get more crisp results with a stencil that has wider pattern, but I love the sort of muted, soft results of the thinner pattern because it's giving me a whole different effect, a more painterly, soft effect that's just different from the direct printing method and the indirect printing method. So this is a really nice example of what I call the over and under technique. And you might have to watch the video more than once because you need to remember not to remove the stencil before you put the second color on top. So I hope you found this fun and informative, and I hope you'll give it a try with either my Van Gogh stencils or something, or Gustav Klimt stencils or Georgia O'Keeffe stencils or any one of my stencil designs with joggles or something that you already have on hand. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate your support, your subscribing, your spreading the word about how exciting this channel is. And if you want to support me on Patreon, it's a month-to-month subscription. There are in-depth tutorials that publish every week, plus you have access to all the archives immediately. It'll keep you busy forever. It will inspire you endlessly. Give it a shot. Come and stay for a month. Check it out. We hope you'll stay longer, but you're not obligated, and that would be amazing. So I will see you back here next week.